Every 40 seconds, someone in America suffers a stroke. Every 3 minutes, another person loses their ability to move, speak, or even recognize the faces they love most. But what if in the very first 3 minutes your body already held the secret to saving your own brain? Hi, I'm Dr. Nana, and welcome to Senior Health Boost, where science meets real survival. Most people over 60 never hear this from their doctor. During those first 180 seconds, your brain still has a fighting chance. According to Harvard Medical School and the University of Tokyo, a few simple movements done immediately can raise survival by almost 50% and reduce permanent paralysis by about 40%. Your body isn't helpless, it's built with a hidden emergency system, a natural backup designed to push oxygen-rich blood back to your brain. No drugs, no equipment, no waiting room, just the right actions, in the right order, at the right time. Today on Senior Health Boost, I'll reveal the 3-minute brain-saving technique, a science-backed method that can stabilize blood flow in under 45 seconds and help preserve your memory, movement, and speech until help arrives. But first, let's make this personal. Tell me in the comments, how old are you? Have you ever seen someone suddenly lose balance or struggle to speak? My team and I read every story because your words might save another person's life. Stay with me, because what you learn in the next few minutes could mean the difference between walking again or living the rest of your life trapped inside your own body. Recognizing the warning signs before a stroke strikes, your body whispers a warning, a quiet alarm that most people miss. That first minute can decide whether you recover or live with permanent disability. Your arm might suddenly feel heavy. Your smile could look uneven. Your words come out tangled, like your mouth can't keep up with your thoughts. These are not just tired moments. They're your brain begging for oxygen, waving a final red flag before the damage begins. When blood flow to the brain drops, nerve cells start to shut down like lights in a sudden blackout. The side that won't move isn't weak, it's disconnected. Each second means more brain cells starving for air. Once they die, they rarely return. Catching this blackout signal early is like stopping a spark before it becomes a fire. It's not panic that saves you, it's precision. So what should you do? Stop immediately. Sit or lie down, because a fall can turn crisis into catastrophe. Then, do 3 quick checks. Look at your face and try to smile. If one side droops, that's your cue. Raise both arms. If one drops lower, your brain is in trouble. Say a simple sentence out loud. If your words slur or vanish completely, you are in the danger zone. Remember the word fast. Face, arms, speech, time. The moment any sign appears, act. Every minute of delay costs nearly 2 million brain cells, the very ones that control your balance, memory, and independence. At the Mayo Clinic, researchers followed more than 2,300 patients and found that nearly 70% experienced a mini-stroke, what's called a transient ischemic attack, within 24 hours before a major stroke. Those who recognized the signs and reacted within 3 minutes nearly doubled their recovery rate. 61% regained full function compared to only 30% who hesitated. A review from the National Institute of Neurological Disorders found that rapid action can cut permanent brain damage almost in half. Awareness doesn't just protect your body, it buys you time. It buys you life. That's why practice matters. Once a week, stand in front of a mirror and test your smile, your arm lift, and your speech. It might feel strange, but it trains your reflexes so fear doesn't freeze you when seconds count. One of my patients, George, age 74, learned this the hard way. After watching his brother lose speech from a sudden stroke, he made a promise to practice every Sunday. Months later, his wife noticed the warning signs: a drooping mouth, blurred words. She called for help immediately and followed the fast steps they had practiced. George walked out of the hospital days later. That tiny 1-minute drill once a week gave him back his walks with his dog, his confidence, and his independence. Now that you know how to spot danger before it strikes, let's go one step further. Because your body doesn't just warn you, it also holds the key to pushing blood back to your brain before help arrives. Nature built a backup system for survival, and in the next part on Senior Health Boost, I'll show you exactly how to trigger it, a simple movement known as the blood shift maneuver. When blood stops reaching your brain, every heartbeat counts, and this technique can restore oxygen flow in under a minute. So stay with me. Your brain and your future depend on it. Now that you know how to recognize the warning signs of a stroke, let's talk about what your body can actually do in those critical moments before help arrives. This simple, life-saving reflex is called the blood shift maneuver, and it's more than a technique. It's your body's built-in backup system, a natural way to push oxygen-rich blood back to your brain when it needs it most. Harvard Medical School and the University of Tokyo both studied this emergency reflex and found that performing just a few simple actions within the first 3 minutes can improve brain oxygen flow by more than 40%. That's the difference between losing speech and keeping it, between permanent damage and a full recovery. So, what exactly should you do when a stroke hits or when someone near you shows those early warning signs? Step 1: Safety and position first. Make sure the person is safe. Sit or lie them flat on the ground or a sturdy surface. No sudden movements. No forcing them upright. Stability is key. Then, gently lift both legs about 12 inches, roughly 30 centimeters above the ground. Support them with a chair, a pillow, or even against a wall if you need to. It might look small, but that movement is powerful. You're literally opening a second highway for blood flow, allowing the blood that's been sitting in the legs to rush back toward the heart and brain. Imagine your circulation as a city at rush hour. This small shift opens an express lane straight to the brain. You don't need strength or speed, just calm, steady action. Step 2: Controlled breathing. Once the legs are up, focus on breathing. It's your next lifesaver. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 2 seconds. Then exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat this calm, steady rhythm. In 4, hold 2, out 6 for at least 2 minutes. Keep your shoulders relaxed, your jaw loose, and your thoughts focused. Picture oxygen moving up with every inhale, like waves washing life back into the shore of your brain. This breathing rhythm does 3 essential things at once. 1.it stabilizes blood pressure. 2.it calms the heart rate. 3.it keeps oxygen moving toward the brain instead of trapping it in the chest. When panic rises, people often breathe too fast, chest heaving, heart pounding, and that sends the opposite message to your body: constrict. The 4-2-6 rhythm does the reverse. It signals safety. It opens vessels. It keeps the flow alive. The science behind the reflexin. The Journal of Emergency Neurology. Researchers found that patients who combine leg elevation with slow, rhythmic breathing during a transient ischemic attack, what doctors call a mini stroke, reduced permanent brain injury by nearly 40%. Even more impressive, those same patients regain cognitive function 42% faster within just 48 hours. It's not magic, it's biology working in your favor. Real-life proof. Mary's story. One of my patients, Mary, age 71, learned this maneuver after surviving her first mini stroke. Months later, while gardening under the sun, she suddenly lost control of her left hand. Instead of panicking, she remembered the steps. She sat down on the grass, lifted her legs onto a nearby bench, and started her 4-2-6 breathing cycle. When paramedics arrived, she was still conscious, speaking clearly, and following instructions. Doctors later confirmed that her quick, calm action likely prevented major brain damage. Today, Mary teaches the blood shift maneuver to her friends at the senior center. She calls it her 3-minute insurance policy. Why it works? Blood shift maneuver works because it relies on gravity, not force. It uses your body's own physics to redirect blood flow from the legs to the heart and brain, restoring temporary circulation balance when it matters most. Slow breathing prevents sudden pressure spikes that could rupture fragile vessels. Together, these 2 simple actions buy precious minutes, and in a stroke emergency, minutes often mean the difference between recovery and lifelong disability. Every second your brain receives oxygen is another chance at independence. Step 3: Stay calm. The real power of the mind-body connection. When a stroke strikes, panic is the true enemy. The moment fear takes over, your blood vessels tighten, your heart races, and oxygen flow to the brain drops even further. The natural instinct to panic is, in reality, the worst thing you can do. Calm, on the other hand, opens the gates. Breathing slowly while lying flat reduces strain on your heart and widens the arteries that feed your brain. It's your built-in defense against chaos, a biological partnership between mind and body. The blood shift maneuver isn't a trick, it's a cooperation between physics and physiology. When you lift your legs, gravity shifts blood upward from the lower limbs to the chest. That extra blood gives your heart more to work with, increasing the volume it pumps with every beat. That surge of oxygenated blood flows directly to your brain's critical centers, the ones responsible for speech, balance, and memory. At the same time, the slow breathing pattern lowers pressure in your chest, preventing smaller blood vessels from collapsing. This combination, leg elevation plus controlled breathing, keeps circulation steady and oxygen flowing without any medical equipment at all. What science shows? Emergency medicine studies show that leg elevation alone can raise blood flow to the brain by 10 to 15% within 45 seconds. When you add controlled breathing, that improvement rises dramatically. This is why calm literally saves lives. The more relaxed you stay, the more evenly your heart distributes blood, not just to your brain, but to every vital organ. Medically speaking, this process activates your vagus nerve, the body's natural brake pedal. It slows your heart rate just enough to keep blood pressure balanced and oxygen delivery consistent. When the vagus nerve engages, your heartbeat and breath fall into rhythm. The two work like dance partners, the heart pumping, the lungs guiding in perfect coordination. That's why, when people stay calm, they often describe a strange sense of clarity or warmth spreading through their body, even in crisis. That's oxygen returning to where it belongs. A simple practice for every day. You don't have to wait for an emergency to learn this. In fact, the more you practice now, the more natural it will feel later. Try this once or twice a week. Lie flat on your back, lift your legs onto a low chair or wall, and practice the 4-2-6 breathing rhythm for 2 minutes. Feel the calm spread as your heartbeat steadies and your head clears. You'll be training your body's emergency reflex before you ever need it, just like rehearsing a fire drill for your own brain. One small habit, but it could one day save your life, or someone else's. Now that you understand how to push blood back to your brain, it's time to learn why this technique works so powerfully and how calm breathing actually shields brain cells from damage. Because here's the truth: when panic strikes, oxygen disappears. But when calm takes over, healing begins. You've just learned how to use your body's built-in rescue system, the blood shift maneuver, to push oxygen back to your brain in an emergency. But like any life-saving skill, it's only powerful if your body remembers it. That's why it's worth practicing this reflex before you ever need it. Lie flat on your bed, place your legs on a pillow, and take 3 rounds of the 4-2-6 breathing rhythm. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 2, exhale slowly for 6. As you breathe, feel the pressure shift through your chest, feel your pulse slow, feel your body settle. Do this once or twice a week until it becomes second nature. Then, if a real emergency happens, your body will act before your mind even has time to panic. Training calm is training survivalcom, isn't luck, it's practice. Training calm is just as vital as training strength. The connection between breath, gravity, and blood flow is your body's survival circuit, one most people never discover until it's too late. Every moment of composure can buy minutes of life for your brain. So tell me in the comments. Press 1 if you'll practice this maneuver this week, or 0 if you've just learned it today. Your feedback helps our team at Senior Health Boost guide more people like you to safety, one habit, one heartbeat at a time. Stay with me, because next we'll explore how to turn this simple response into a lasting reflex, transforming 3 minutes of action into lifelong protection. From knowing to doing, knowing the blood shift maneuver is powerful, but knowledge alone can't save you. In a real emergency, panic is faster than memory. Training your reflex bridges the gap between knowing and doing. When you rehearse these steps regularly, your body moves before fear takes over. That automatic reaction can preserve oxygen, protect your brain, and by the time medicine needs to work. Think about how firefighters prepare. They don't wait for flames to learn where the exits are, they drill until movement becomes instinct. You must do the same. Once or twice a week, lie flat, lift your legs, and breathe in the 4-2-6 rhythm. Imagine the warning signs: a heavy arm, a crooked smile, a sudden blur in speech. Then walk yourself calmly through the motions. These short rehearsals carve a path through your nervous system, teaching your body to react even if your mind freezes. The science of reflex training. In a study published in the Journal of Geriatric Medicine, adults over 60 who practiced emergency motor patterns twice a week reacted nearly 3 times faster when stroke symptoms appeared. Their pulse stayed steadier. Their recovery scores were higher. Scientists call this procedural memory training, the process that allows your body to remember what your thoughts might forget. It's the same principle that helps a pianist find the keys or a driver brake without thinking. The more you rehearse, the more your nerves wire the motion into muscle memory. So when danger strikes, your body simply knows. Building calm into everyday life. Calm isn't a gift, it's a habit you can build. And you don't need extra time, just small adjustments to your daily routine. When you wake up in the morning, take 3 slow breaths before standing. When you lie down at night, lift your legs for 30 seconds and repeat the 4-2-6 rhythm once or twice. These tiny habits condition your body to stay steady under pressure. You're not just exercising your muscles, you're teaching your heart, lungs, and nervous system to cooperate when it matters most. Turn your household into a safety net. Don't keep this knowledge to yourself. Share it. Teach your family how to spot the fast signs: face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, and time to call for help. Have them practice the same calm sequence beside you. A household that practices together becomes its own safety net. Even a grandchild can learn to recognize when something isn't right and dial for help. Knowledge shared is safety multiplied. Each repetition sends the same clear message through your nervous system: stay calm, breathe deep, lift the legs, protect the brain. The more you practice, the faster those commands become automatic. One day, that quiet confidence could keep you conscious until help arrives. The rhythm of preparation is simple practice often. Stay calm, always. Let your body lead the way when every heartbeat counts. If you already practice this routine, press 1 in the comments. If you're just learning today, press 0. So my team at Senior Health Boost knows how to guide you next. Every number, every comment, helps another person discover this life-saving habit. Now that you've mastered the blood shift maneuver and learned how to turn it into a reflex, you're ready for the final step: protecting your brain every day. Because real prevention doesn't begin in hospitals, it begins at home. In the quiet moments. In the small choices that decide how your blood flows, how well you rest, and how calmly you respond when pressure rises. Small actions, repeated every day, form an invisible defense system that keeps your brain young, alert, and strong. You don't need perfection, you just need consistency. Every movement, every sip of water, every deep breath adds another layer of protection, creating what I call your daily circle of defense. 1. Move. The first habit of protection: movement is medicine. Your body was designed to circulate, not to sit still. A simple 10-minute walk after breakfast, or gentle stretching before bed, trains your arteries to stay open and flexible. Imagine your arteries as tiny rivers. When they flow, they stay clean. When they stagnate, they clog. Sitting too long allows blood to pool, oxygen levels to drop, and inflammation to rise. But you don't need a gym membership to fight it. Roll your shoulders. Flex your ankles. Stand up every 30 minutes. Let your blood remind your body that you're alive. Research from the American Heart Association shows that older adults who move for at least 10 minutes every hour lower their risk of a second stroke by nearly 40%. It's proof that even small motion creates major change. Movement is not about pace, it's about persistence. When you make motion your first medicine, your blood flows freely, your mind clears, and your heart stays steady, one step at a time. 2. Hydration and nourishment. The second layer of defense: your brain literally floats in water. When you're dehydrated, your blood thickens, your heart strains, and your brain struggles to get the oxygen it needs. Think of hydration as the oil that keeps your engine from overheating. Drink a small glass of water every hour. It doesn't have to be fancy clean. Room temperature water is enough to keep your circulation smooth and your cells alert. Then, build your meals around the nutrients your arteries love: olive oil, for its artery-soothing polyphenols; salmon, rich in omega-3s that fight inflammation; walnuts, nature's natural vessel protectors; leafy greens, packed with antioxidants and folate to repair vessel walls. These foods do more than nourish, they form a shield inside your blood vessels, calming inflammation and keeping oxygen delivery steady. A hydrated, well-fed brain resists injury and recovers faster when stress strikes. So before you reach for coffee in the morning, reach for a glass of water first. It's a small act that keeps your brain's river flowing clear and strong. 3. Rest. The silent repair system. Sleep is not laziness, it's repair. During deep sleep, your brain's lymphatic system flushes out waste that builds up during the day, the microscopic debris left behind by thought, stress, and emotion. When you skip rest, that waste lingers. It clouds your memory, slows your thinking, and stiffens blood vessels. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. To prepare your body for rest, dim your lights an hour before bed. Avoid screens and slow your breathing. Let your body drift back into rhythm. A rested brain reacts faster, thinks clearer, and heals deeper. One of my patients, Ellen, age 76, learned this firsthand. After a mild stroke weakened her right hand, she refused to give up. She rebuilt her life through tiny routines, walking her dog at sunrise, drinking water before her morning coffee, and practicing slow breathing while waiting for the kettle to boil. Months later, her balance returned, her speech cleared, and she began painting again. She told me, "Dr. Nana, I stopped waiting for luck and started living like my brain deserved care." Her story is proof. Healing doesn't require miracles. It requires maintenance. 4. Calm. The final habit that holds it all together. Stress is the silent thief of oxygen. When you're tense, your arteries tighten, your blood pressure rises, and your brain struggles to stay clear. Calm isn't the absence of fear, it's control under pressure. Just 2 minutes of slow breathing can undo the damage of stress. Try this rhythm. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 2, exhale for 6. This gentle pattern activates your vagus nerve, the body's natural regulator. It slows your heart rate, stabilizes your blood pressure, and restores calm flow to your brain. Each breath is a quiet rehearsal for protection. Every time you choose calm, you're strengthening your brain's resilience, teaching it to stay steady when life shakes. 5. The power of harmony. When movement, hydration, nourishment, rest, and calm work together, they create resilience. These 5 habits are not random, they're a system. A living rhythm that keeps your brain ready for every challenge. In the end, survival often comes down to minutes. The first 3 minutes that decide whether your brain recovers or fades. And now, you know how to protect those minutes, how to recognize the early signs, how to push blood back to your brain, how to breathe through panic, and how to train your reflex until calm becomes instinct. Each step, though simple, connects science and willpower into one purpose: to keep your mind alive long enough for healing to begin. Your body is not helpless, it holds its own rescue plan, one built on awareness, movement, and breath. The blood shift maneuver, the 4-2-6 rhythm, and the daily habits of motion, rest, and hydration are not just emergency tools, they're a way of life. They're your promise to yourself that calm and preparation can protect what matters most. Your body knows how to survive. Your brain knows how to heal. All it needs is for you to give it the chance. So if this message inspired you, if you believe even one life could be saved by learning this, give this video a thumbs up, share it with someone you love, and don't forget to subscribe to Senior Health Boost for more life-saving science made simple. Together, we're building a community of strength, awareness, and calm, one heartbeat, one habit, one morning at a time. This is Dr. Nana reminding you, your brain is your story. Protect it, nurture it, and keep it alive. Stay well, stay calm, and as always, take care of your heart, your breath, and your brain. Thank you for watching Senior Health Boost, where science meets the art of living longer, clearer, and stronger.